This is Some Wonderful Maps, a series in which I talk about maps made in Fall Guys Creative that I enjoyed. Typically, point-based levels follow a certain formula. You either collect enough bubbles to qualify or stand in a zone and get points that way. And most of the time, you'll be given something to help you smack people away from the zone via power-up. It could be a rubber chicken or a rotatable fan. And while this one follows the latter, it does something I didn't think was even possible. The more people in a zone, the less points you get overall. In this example, I'm the only one playing, so I get points pretty quickly. However, I did play this level on a livestream I did, and as you can see, I wasn't getting a ton of points since a few people were in the zone with me. The creator of this level wanted people to playtest this map to see how it would work in a real world setting, and I have no idea if this is intentional since the map is called Glitch Zones, but you get teleported if you try and go for the zone that's on the flipper. However, when I was playing the level on livestream, I was getting like a few points, so I have no idea if it's a glitch or not. Honestly, even if it wasn't supposed to happen, I think it's for the best since the level is called Glitch Zones after all. I've also had instances where I would teleport every few seconds or so, and this is something that I definitely think is a bug. I will say the digital theme being used really fits with the whole glitchy vibe it's going for. I love the little details such as this plug being inserted into the puncher. The level is nicely packed. If anything, I'd say it's a bit confusing to traverse at first, but that was just me playing the level for the first time, so it's kind of whatever. Eventually if you play the level enough, you'll know where to go. But overall, the idea is incredibly creative. Definitely recommend you try this out with a group of people if possible. Let's continue with levels that have ideas that are unique. Although not as unique as the last map, this one uses wormholes to teleport you around the level. Unfortunately, wormholes themselves are not something you can add to creative mode at the moment. A sort of workaround that people do to achieve this effect is that they would overlap the elimination and checkpoint zone, then position the checkpoint zone a bit over where you want the player to respawn. Shout out to this comment made by Lightning07051 for explaining that, because I never knew how people achieve that. According to the description, this level is a variation, which reminded me of the wormhole variations Mutant did back in Season 2 Side Scramble. When I played this level live on stream, I was having issues of body blocking since this map is so condensed, which made it awkward to play at times, mainly at the start of Incline section, but it starts to clear up after a while. The level doesn't overstay its welcome. I played it a few times by myself to try out the variety of routes, though the side paths, or the ones marked with eggs, were odd because I felt like I wasn't making progress even though I clearly went into the portal. Also had a weird bug in where I went into a portal but got teleported backwards. This only happened once, but super weird. All in all, it's a fun level with a great concept. Hopefully we get actual wormholes in creative mode one day. If you love Time Attack and want to play something similar, this is the map for you. The entire map, aside from the start and finish line, are covered in a score zone, and your goal is to climb to the top with the least amount of score as possible. It's basically a speedrun map, where the points act as time, and the anti-bubbles will reduce the time on the clock. There's a few skips you can do, such as using the disc to lunge yourself to the end of the blaster section, or landing on top of the first glove, then lunging yourself towards a drum. This level has no checkpoints, which is a good thing, because if you fall off, you can reset your time by standing in the zone, and if you reach the finish line, the time stops. If you wish to qualify, just step out and let the score go to the max. I don't know if it's possible, but it would be pretty cool if there was a zone that just gives you a crap ton of points, so you'd basically be able to qualify faster, because waiting it out takes a lot longer than I like it to. Usually I'll just leave, but it ends up closing the lobby altogether. Maps like this really show how flexible and versatile the points game mode can be. This was a level that has a theme and executes it well. From the volcano skybox to the decorations used, this map is great, and what blew me away was the giant thermometer, and the level is pretty simple all things considered, and the only thing that I hate is the maze at the start, but that's just a minor issue. Love how the flying sections have slime or lava in this case pushing it upwards, almost like a geyser. My favorite part is at the end where if you go to the right, you can stand on a platform to admire the view, and I did just that. Also, the cups and containers are emitting heat, which is just great, but it's not actually emitting heat, it's actually using like a sticker to showcase that, but regardless, it's awesome. I'm a guy who really appreciates the little things. I just love the way the decorations or some of the thermometer arrows look. The level is pretty simple, and it does have multiple routes or paths that are well made. With survival levels, it's usually a toss-up between being fun or boring, and for the most part, it's incredibly difficult to make fun survival levels, since it boils down to knocking players into slime, but it's hard to make it interesting. But I think this level definitely has an interesting enough premise, and it doesn't like overstay its welcome. It's incredibly short and sweet, and depending how good you are, you could definitely have a ton of fun. The objective is to leap jump to the boxes and survive the longest. This level is incredibly addictive and something I find myself going back to time and time again, just to see if I can get a better time. time. If you're familiar with the game called Cluster Truck, and where you basically have to jump from truck to truck, this level basically is just that. So if you love that game or something like it, you'll definitely enjoy this level. It also helps that the level looks decent. It's not going to win any design awards, but it's pleasant to look at. This level takes inspiration from jump roping and also jump showdown, and this level in my opinion has a great setting, and as the name suggests, it's jump rope. The hex tiles beneath you will crack and respawn randomly while the cannons in the background will be shooting objects at you. Such a simple idea but really fun, and if you're good at grabbing, this map is a breeze. The bleachers in the back is just adorable. All in all, a very simple yet good idea that's executed fairly well in my opinion. I have no idea if this level is modded or made with vanilla creative, which will have like a 2,500 budget if I recall correctly, but it might be the best looking level I've played in a long while. And it plays well too. The fact this has 100 plays as of the making of this video is criminal. This needs to be featured in Creator Spotlight. No amount of words could convey how much I love this level. I recommend you try and play this map for yourself like right away. It's not a difficult level either, it looks like it, but it's pretty easy while having routes you can take if you're more technically inclined. The colors are masterfully used and is very inspired by the scrapyard theming. The timing between the trapeze and drawbridge is almost in sync, which is incredible. As I've said previously, it's the little things that get me. Every obstacle, every object, and just everything was laid down with purpose. I'm grateful that I started live streaming because otherwise I'd miss out on levels like this. It's a truly work of art. I've mentioned in my first 7 days video on Final Fantasy aka 11.6 on how I'm not a fan of the cool blue lighting that's found in the Slime Cave skybox, but I think it really works on this level. I've never seen the destructible object being used to hide the score bubble before. Like under normal circumstances, it wouldn't make sense to hide it, but it's still something that I think people should do more often. In this case, it fits perfectly since it's being hidden inside a chest. With any level, setting can play an important role, more so in points, and this one has an awesome aesthetic. It really feels like you're invading a castle, plunging it for its valuable loot. The big chest outside involves a bean ball and it's pretty fun to get to. This is a wonderfully crafted level and really shows how setting can be crucial for a points level. To further the point made by how setting can be incredibly important, the way you collect points in this level isn't anything special, but the setting is the star of the show, and as you can probably tell, is based on a pizzeria. Shocker, I know. The detailing and the vibe is just immaculate. I will say 50 points is a bit too much in my opinion, but there's plenty of points to go around, plus it gives you time to explore the level. So if you're making a points level, try to have a good setting or just a good backdrop, like a pizzeria or sort of like a castle, a sushi restaurant, or just any type of restaurant in general, a hospital, an airport, or really any interesting setting. During my live streams, I often make the joke that a level with a low player count could be a hidden gem, but this one might genuinely be a hidden gem. It looks like it could come out of Legacy Season 2, and it nails the wood texture look to the point where I had to do a double take to make sure they didn't add wood as a material type. It's a short level, but quite enjoyable. Having the bridge fall down by stepping on the hidden pressure plate is a nice touch. The thumbnail changed from when I first played it. Previously it had a shot of the knights at the end, but now it's a more proper overview of the map, which I think looks way better. I sometimes mention how color can play a crucial role, and this level is a great showcase of that. It looks like it could appear in early 2000 Nickelodeon. Just stunning usage of colors. It evokes the feeling of punk rock. The gameplay is fairly straightforward. You run and use the jumps to progress. The view you get from the top of the map is stunning. The usage of colors blew me away. If you play enough creative maps, you're bound to come across slime climb inspired maps, and this is no exception. However, it has things that set it apart, such as this section with the rotating beams, and it has hammers that actually fling you forwards, unlike the actual Yeetus in Slime Climb. But that's besides the point. It's a wintry version of Slime Climb. It's well made and all around great fun. Nothing more to say. If you love Slime Climb and maybe Slime Scraper, but you want something a little more, this is the level for you. And also, it has an adorable Bert statue at the end, so what's not to like? At first glance, this map doesn't look that great, but once you progress, all doubt right away to the sunset. It's sectioned out incredibly well and greatly invokes that western feel to a great degree. If you yearn for the mines, I cannot recommend this level enough. My favorite part is the rotating section, which is made to look like minecarts. The water container at the start is cool, though I wish the rotating disc would look different, which can easily be done by overlapping. I love the added detail of water on the floor, and I'll never stop saying this, but it's the little things that matter. matter. It really shows commitment and how much love one puts into the craft. Normally, I'd upload these videos in the month I played them, in this case February, but I'll be honest, I didn't really feel like doing all that much in February. I'm also a little sick unfortunately, and I also have a lot going on in my personal life. Thankfully, I managed to get most of it done and dusted. We'll leave the codes to the levels featured in the description down below. Special thank you to our Max Tour aka $5 members, Jump It Runnin', Deckle, The Editor, Axolotl Profi, T-Man, A Random Guy, The Salt, TM, Froggo Bean, The Cupcake Kazoo, and Dr. Pepsi 7926 for your support as always.